sort of went through that college process in terms of reaching out to coaches, getting them to look at you play. And like I said, Brian, you played Division I at Green Bay, and Mike, you were going to go, had you not gone to Portugal, but you were going to go play Division I at the University of the Pacific in California. Um, just sort of how were you guys able to get those opportunities, if you guys don't mind me asking? Because a lot of these players are freshmen and sophomores now, and they're reaching a certain age now where that starts to become a bit of a concern for them.
Uh, I'll just talk about comparing my process to Mike's, because this is like two different like processes that we went through.
Sure.
So like for Michael, he was invited to national team camps, scored 15 goals in the DA. And so a player like that, you're going to have colleges reach out to you by themselves. You're going to have colleges just reach out and invite you to visit their school. But if you're like me, and yeah, you're in DA, but you're not making national team camps, you're not scoring 15 goals a season. So you're kind of like basically very under the radar. Not many people know you. So you can't just sit around and wait for colleges to come after you. You have to contact them. You have to go to their camps. That's how you develop a relationship between these coaches. So when you do go to showcases, they do come out and watch you play. And that's how you will get more opportunities than thinking that they should come to you, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Before we get to you, Mike, let's just talk about how were you able to get Green Bay to come out and watch you, Brian?
So I got Green Bay to come out because we went to play in Wisconsin for an academy game, and I just asked them. I was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in this area, and I'm interested in going to your school and playing for your program. Would you come out and watch me play?" And I was fortunate enough that so we played on Saturday and they had a camp on Sunday. So I went after that game, I went to their camp. So then, because I knew that maybe in that game, you don't know how it's going to go. You
Right.
don't know if your team is not going to do well, if you're not going to do well. But I was like lucky enough to do well in that game. So going into that camp, they already knew who I was. They had some interest. So it just gave them the opportunity to see me play more. But I think also when it comes to picking schools, you have to be realistic with your choices. You can't just think that, oh, I'm going to go play for, let's say, like Michigan State. I want to play for Michigan State. Like those big schools are the ones that they're the type of schools that go after the best players in the country. And if you're not that, then I'm sure that they're not going to look at you, and you want to go to a place where you're going to enjoy it, number one, and you're going to play a lot. So you rather play a lot than go to a big school just because the name and just sit on the bench, and you might end up like quitting like a year in or two in and stuff. So I think the best thing with me was that I was very realistic with my choices. And I just decided to go to Green Bay because I knew that there I would develop more and I would play a lot more. And that was more important to me than anything else.
Right. Mike, you want to add anything else?
Um, well, for mine, I think there's one lesson to take out of it is the way Pacific kind of saw me was from the DA showcase. And I think the first game I scored 2 goals. The second game I scored one. And then after that showcase, they emailed me saying, yeah, like we want you to come for a visit. We saw you play at the showcase. And that's kind of how everything started with Pacific. But I think one thing to take away from that is you never know who's watching you. So it doesn't matter if it's just a league game or an actual showcase. You got to perform. You got to be ready to, to give everything, because you don't know who's in the stands watching you. So I think that's one thing to take away from that. Brian kind of already said, the whole process and everything like that. So yeah.
Oh, can I add one more
Yeah.
thing? So about the college process, players will get these like mass emails from colleges, and I don't want any of the players here like getting confused with that and like thinking that the school is interested in them, because everybody gets those emails. Those are just like emails to invite every player like in the country to their camp so they can make money. But the difference between those emails and the emails that they're actually interested in you, they'll say your name, they'll say where they saw you play, they'll give you the dates that they did see you play, and they'll just make it more personal in that way in those type of emails to show that they're interested in you. So I don't want players thinking that just because you get a mass email from a school that they're interested in you, because there are players out there that I've played with that have thought that, and in the end they go to those camps and the coach has no idea who they are. So that's just a thing that to look out for.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that preface, Brian. So based on what you guys are saying, that's also part of the reason why I wanted you guys on too, is because I think that unless you're Mike who puts up the numbers, right? If you there's a lot more oftentimes than not, a lot of the college process is you reaching out to the coaches to come look at you rather than them reaching out to you.